is Hanuman Garhi? Let's start with what you see when you arrive. Hanuman Garhi sits on a natural hillock near the heart of old Ayodhya. It is not a delicate temple, it is a fortress. Thick walls, circular bastions, and each of its four corners built to withstand pressure. The structure covers over 52 bighas of land. It is by some accounts the most commanding physical presence in Ayodhya's skyline. To enter, you climb 76 stone steps. This climb is not incidental. It is the pilgrimage. With every step, the city drops away below you. By the time you reach the top, you are already in different state of attention. Inside, you find the inner sanctum and its heart, a cave, an ancient natural cave around which the entire temple structure was built. And in that cave, the primary deity, Lord Hanuman, not in his familiar form as the mighty warrior with a mace. Here, he is Bal Swarup, a child, just 6 inches tall, sitting in the lap of his mother Anjani. The guardian of Ayodhya, the one who set Lanka on fire, who carried an entire mountain, is worshipped here as an infant, cradled by his mother. That contrast is not accidental. We will come back to it, but first, the cave. Before this was a fortress, before the Nawabs arrived, before Ayodhya became a site of conflict, what was this hillock? Why did anyone believe Hanuman lived here at all? The tradition holds that this cave is where Hanuman actually lived. During the years Ram spent in Ayodhya after returning from Lanka. Think about what Ram's return meant. He had been gone for 14 years. The city had been without its king. And when he finally returned, he needed someone he trusted completely to watch over Ayodhya, to protect the city, the people, the sacred geography of his homeland. He gave that responsibility to Hanuman, and the instruction Ram gave, according to the tradition maintained by the temple's priests, is same instruction that governs pilgrimage to this day. Ram said, "Whenever my devotee comes to Ayodhya, let them seek your blessings first. Only then will their darshan of me be complete." This is not a small instruction. This is Ram, the king, the avatar of Vishnu, telling his city, "Before you come to me, go to my devotee." This is a pattern here worth noting. We saw this at Rameshwaram, where Ram ordered that Hanuman's Shivling, the Vishwalingam, be worshipped before his own chosen deity, the Ramalingam. And here in Ayodhya, the same logic appears. Ram consistently, deliberately gives Hanuman precedence, not out of sentiment, but as a teaching. What you honor in the servant tells you what you value in your master. Hanuman's loyalty, his selflessness, his total dedication, Ram chose to make these the gateway through which every devotee must pass. So the legend tells us why Hanuman lives here. But it doesn't explain the fortress walls, it doesn't explain the circular bastions, and it doesn't explain why a Muslim royal dynasty chose across 3 generations to be the patrons of this temple's physical construction. To understand what happened here, you need to understand who the Nawabs of Awadh were and what kind of rulers they were. The Nawabate of Awadh was established in early 18th century. These were Shia Muslim rulers presiding over a territory where roughly 2/3 of the population was Hindu. Their capital moved between Faizabad and Lucknow, and their court became one of the most remarkable cultural environments in pre-colonial India, a place where Urdu poetry, classical music, architecture, and religious patronage of all traditions flourished side by side. The first formal grant of land for Hanuman Garhi's construction was made under Nawab Saadat Khan, the first Nawab of Awadh between 1722 and 1739. He granted the land to the Ramanandi ascetics, the Bairagis, who had been maintaining the site of Hanuman's cave, a Muslim Nawab formalizing the rights of Vaishnav ascetics to a Hindu pilgrimage site. Construction continued under Nawab Safdarjung, his successor, who supported the project with revenue land allocations. But the person who brought it to completion was the 4th Nawab, Nawab Asaf-ud-Daula. He is one of the most fascinating figures in 18th century Indian history, and almost no one talks about his connection to this temple. Asaf-ud-Daula became the 4th Nawab of Awadh in 1775. He moved the capital from Faizabad to Lucknow and transformed the city into one of the greatest cultural centers in Asia. In 1784, he commissioned the Bada Imam Bada, a massive Shia Islamic monument in Lucknow that stands to this day as a marvel of Mughal architecture. He built it partly as a famine relief project, employing thousands of workers during a period of severe drought. In Ayodhya, under his rule, with his Hindu Diwan, Tiket Rai overseeing the construction, the Hanuman Garhi temple was completed in 1799. The same treasury, the same reign, the same administration. A Shia Imambara for Muslim worship, a Hanuman temple in Ram's own birthplace for Hindu pilgrims. Asaf-ud-Daula was described by contemporaries as awardly secular in his personal disposition. He was known by a saying that lives in Lucknow to this day: "Jisko na de Maula, use de Asaf-ud-Daula." Those who receive nothing from God receive from Asaf-ud-Daula. His generosity was legendary and it was not selective. He understood something that we struggle to articulate today: that to govern a people is to steward their sacred traditions, not just your own. Now here is the question that this history actually forces us to sit with. Why does this surprise us? Why does a Muslim ruler building a Hanuman temple feel like an anomaly? What does that surprise reveal about how we have come to understand history? In modern discourse, we frame religious identity as a binary. You are Hindu or Muslim, and you build temples or mosques for your people. But the Nawabs of Awadh operated in a different framework, one that was deeply Indian and arguably deeply dharmic. In classical Indian political philosophy, a ruler's primary obligation was to the Dharma of the land, meaning the sacred order that sustains the people, their customs, their traditions, their sites of meaning. A king who neglected the sacred geography of his people was seen as failing in his fundamental duties, regardless of his personal faith. This was not tolerance. Tolerance is a word that implies effort, that you are restraining yourself from something. What Asaf-ud-Daula was not restrained, it was active stewardship. He commissioned the completion of a temple he would never pray in for a deity he did not worship in a city that was not his capital, because the people of that city needed their sacred site to be protected and sustained. His Hindu Diwan, Tiket Rai, overseeing the construction, a Muslim ruler, a Hindu minister building Hanuman's home in Ram city. The governance model itself was a reflection of the India that existed before it was fractured by colonial administration and later by partition. There is something Hanuman Garhi holds in its walls that no textbooks articulate clearly. That for most of Indian history, faith was personal but sacred geography was shared. It belonged to the land, not to any single community's ownership. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the kind of history we go into every week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And stay with me because the story of why this temple teaches what it teaches is not finished yet. Let's come back to the question we left open at the beginning. Why is Hanumanji worshipped here as a child? On the outside, Hanuman Garhi is the fortress. Thick walls, high ground, bastions at every corner. Every architectural element speaks of protection, vigilance, strength. And inside, at the center of all that strength, is a 6-inch idol of a baby. This is not a design accident. This is a deliberate theological statement. Sanatana Dharma frequently places the most vulnerable form of the divine at the most protected site. The infant Krishna in Mathura, the infant Ram at Janmabhoomi, and here the infant Hanuman in his mother's arms at the heart of a fortress. The message is layered. Strength exists to protect what is tender. The warrior builds walls so that the child inside is safe. The fortress is not the point, the child is the point. And when you climb those 76 steps to reach him, you're not approaching a general, a commander, a deity of war. You're approaching a son, a child in his mother's lap. That shift from the architecture of power to the deity of innocence is the spiritual experience Hanuman Garhi was designed to produce. The 76 steps strip away everything. By the top, the city is gone, your daily self is diminished, you are simply a person climbing towards something. And then you enter, and the mightiest protector in all of Hindu mythology looks back at you as a baby from his mother's arms. Tell me that isn't theology. So the next time you hear that Hanuman Garhi was built by Muslim Nawabs, don't hear it as a footnote to history. Hear it as a mirror. A mirror that shows you what governance looked like when it was rooted in the idea that sacred land belongs to the people who have loved, it for generations, not to whoever holds power over it. A mirror that shows you what Ram's instruction meant when he placed Hanuman at the gate of his own city. That the most powerful acts of devotion are the ones that give someone else the credit. And a mirror that shows you what you experience when you finally reach top of those 76 steps, a fortress built by kings to protect a child. Hanuman's truest form, not the warrior, the son. What surprised you most in the story? The Nawabs, the infant deity, or Ram's instruction that started it all? Tell me in the comments and I will see you in the next one.